Hello guys, welcome to False Volume TV, False Publishers, False News, False Entertainment, and False Sports. We are false. So today we just want to do a very brief video and introduce our new book in the system to you, which is Osmo series, Score A in Mathematics, revised edition of the book. And it's an easy way to use the calculator. The reason why we are coming out with this book is we know students from SHS, nursing trainees, training colleges, and even universities, most students find it very difficult using the scientific calculators. So we are coming out with this special book to solve that problem. And this is the book, OSMOS series, an easy way to use the calculator. So I just want to walk through the book, just a quick walking through review, and in our subsequent videos we'll take our time to break chapter by chapter, section by section, and see what is in the book. So this is another copy of the book. So this is the book, and that's Osmo series, and we have the author here. So if you grab a copy, you have a lot to read concerning the book, and we have our authors here, co-authors, and the main author here. So we want to go through the book and see what is in the book. So when you take the first page, we have a very beautiful design. We are not talking about the cover, we just want to see the content itself. So now we have this as Osmo series. Now we'll open to the next page and we'll see the copyright page. And we publish the book ourselves, so we are the same publishers. This is False Publishers Limited, and we are authors of the book as well. So if you want to contact us, we have our details, and whatever I have here, we have the dedication, the acknowledgement. We don't want to read anything for now. And the next page that I want us to just go through is the general instruction of the book. So I want us to walk through the general instruction of the book. And so let's take the point one. The point one is that make sure you clear or restart your calculator before and after solving a particular question. This is very important. So it's a machine you are using. So anytime you want to use it, you have to make sure that you reset the function or whatever on the calculator to default before you set to the new function you want to use. So before and after, you need to make sure you clear or restart the calculator, and it's very simple doing that. Well, there are things we don't want to discuss here. We just want to go straight to the major point. And number two is always make sure you have entered correct value. That's rectifying imperfection. Is very important. There's a saying in ICT that the garbage in, garbage out. So you need to make sure that you have put in the right value that will give you the right answer. Point three is use the replay key to view values if it is a table or answer more than one value. And this is another important aspect. If you are working with a table, your answer is going to be more than one value. And even if you are solving equations or quadratic equations, simultaneous equations, your answers are going to be also more than one value. And this one is going to help you by using the replay key. And which one is the replay key? The replay key is the biggest key on the calculator, which is this key. That's the replay key. These are more than one. You need to use the replay key to locate all your answers. And number four says that make sure you go according to the portion of your calculator. And this is another important aspect. And so what is according to your portion, according to the portion of your calculator? It means that you need to know the type of calculator you are using. Example that when we pick Casio FX991, we have the MS, we have the ES, and the ES Plus. So if you are using the MS, you have to know that you are using the ES. If you are using MS, you should know how to handle it, and this will tell you the one that you are using. And the point 5 says that each square bracket represents a key on the calculator, and this is very important. Each square bracket, the square bracket is what is the AC is in a square bracket, and so AC is a key on the calculator. So then when you see in the book anything that is in a square bracket is just one press key and you move on. That's it. And the point 6 is that the arrow represents the arrow on the replay key. I've already explained the replay key. That's the biggest key on the calculator. It has 4 arrows. So you use the arrow to check the other value. Now let's go to the point 7. Is this that you see is a division sign in MS calculator. So that's how the division is. So this is obtained from this, and this is in a square bracket. This also is in a square bracket, and this is just one key. This is also one key in the square bracket. And this is the mixed fraction form, which is the A is the whole number and the B over C is a fraction. And so this key is known as fraction key on the FX991 MS calculator. And so we'll get to explain more about this. Now let's walk through the content quickly and we'll move on. The content, we have the copyright, dedication, acknowledgement, general instruction. That's the one that we just read, this one. And table of content is where we are now. And we have the preface, we have the introduction. Then let's go to the chapter 1. Chapter 1 says that I'll start to know your calculator. So how are you going to start knowing your calculator? It means that knowing the keys. Those are the calculators. We have the number keys, we have the operational keys, we have the delete, we have the clear, and we have other functions. Knowing all AC, will explain that more into detail. I just want to walk you through the table of content and we'll see. So the chapter 1 is just the overview of your calculator, seeing how it looks, where you can get your functions, where you have your numbers, where you have your operational signs. All the functions are there, where you can get your the delete and the clear, edit, replay. That's the key that we are talking about, and that one will show you more. Now let's go to chapter 2. Chapter 2 is the mode, which is the mode function. That's a comp. The comp is the default, or is supposed to be the default, but if it is not the default, you need to set it to the default. That's the default function of the calculator, and this is anytime that it is in the comp, it's set into order of board mass. You see, apart from scientific calculator, the other calculators that are just calculators doesn't follow the order of the board mass, but scientific calculators follow the order of board mass. So always you need to set it to, that's a comp. And what is in the comp, it gives you the order of board mass. Any input that you make will put you in the section for you. And there are others that you get to know when the moment you go to the mode, you get to the comp, you get to the complex. There are argument, under the complex you get argument, and there is a lot that you get under that. We'll explain that. Then let's go to chapter 3, is the mode statistics, which is the stat. So we have the statistics, and so we are going to break statistics down very well using the calculator to solve statistical questions, finding the mean, median, standard deviation, and a lot that we are going to find from this. And finding the minimum, the maximum, so many things that we'll get from chapter 3, which is a start. Now, chapter 4 is the regression and correlation. Regression and correlation. So those that are doing the UMAT, you do the regression, the correlation, finding your R and A, then your B, finding all those. And then the calculator is going to help you break all this down, and it's going to be fantastic for you. Everything is dealt into details. It's going to be simple as you see. Then chapter 5 is mode that's base n. And the base n is the normal basis. And so we are going to also use the calculator to work on normal basis. How the normal basis works. Base 16, base 8, base 2, base other bases. It gives you more understanding. And so anytime that you don't have a teacher around, and as a student, your maths book is available, you yourself, you are there, your calculator is the next person to teach you, and it's going to walk you through your math questions and get things done. Now let's go to chapter 7. No, chapter 6. The chapter 6 is the mode equation. That's a symbol. So we are going to solve equations, quadratic equations, simultaneous equations. Simultaneous equations was 2 unknown variables, 3 unknown variables. Any equations that you can think of, we are going to use the calculator to solve it into detail. Then let's go to the chapter 7 is mode matrix. And so the matrices, we're going to use our calculator. That's for EMAT. For matrices, going to find the determinant, the transpose, the inverse, finding the product, the dot. Is going to do a lot. And matrices, anything you can think about matrices, your calculator is going to help you to break it down into detail. Then chapter 8 is mode table. The table is graphs of quadratic functions. We know quadratic functions. We'll be given a fx equal to this, where you'll be given a range to draw a table, and also use it to plot your graph, or have your graph design as a quadratic. This one, and those calculator. The book is going to teach you how to use your calculator to draw the table, and the values, everything is going to draw on the table on the calculator. You just look at it and copy into your book as your answer. Vectors. So now the vectors is also going to work in the details. The vectors, the dimensions, 2 dimension, 3 dimension, working with your vectors, and it's going to be very powerful. Now, chapter 10 is going to be equation solve. And there we have equation itself. So we are going to see how we can use a calculator to solve equations. Any question that is in equation form. The questions that involve equal signs are equations. Now it's going to help you to solve all such questions, and it's going to be very fantastic. Now let's go chapter 11. Is the setup. Is that the shift mode? And we're using mode, but now we are going to use shift mode. The shift mode is going to give us so many functions where we are going to follow to use that one to solve so many questions, which is the shift mode. Also gives us so many things. When you go back to statistics, we have something called switch on frequency and switch off frequency. Now those shift mode will help us to be able to switch on our frequency column when we are dealing with statistics, and also switch off frequency column when we are not in need of it. Now let's go to chapter 12. Chapter 12 is the integration and the differentiation. The calculator is going to help us work with differentiations, integrations, when the limits are given, and it's going to be fantastic for the UMaths students. And chapter 13 is trigonometric functions. So we're going to deal with trigonometry. So trigonometric function values is where we are going to solve all the trig questions, the sine, the cosine, and the tan inverse when you want to convert to angles, tan inverse, and other stuff. So it's going to work through with this. Now let's go to the next one. As a chapter 14 is going to the permutations and combinations, and that one is going to use it to solve several questions about that. And then chapter 15 is logarithm, natural logarithm. This is going to deal with the lane. So we're going to, in general, log and natural log. It's going to use the calculator to deal with that. That's chapter 16. It's going to be fraction and decimal numbers. This is how you can work with, use some fractions questions to find the LCMs. You're going to input everything on the calculator and it's going to solve it for you. It's going to be very in details. And the next one is binary operation, where you are going to use the calculator to solve binary questions given to you. When operation star is defined as this, and you have your complete question, and you're going to use the calculator to work out with your operations and find whether it is commutative, associative, or it's going to help you to get all those things done. And we'll go to the next one as chapter 18. Chapter 18 is the graphs of the circular function. So that one too, we are going to use that one to find the angles. And the bonus of the book is chapter 19 and 20 is a bonus for the science students. And so the first one is the physical constants. The physical constants are there. Sometimes you don't need to choose them. You see, you need to, when you're asked to find the mass of electrons, mass of protons, mass of electrons, neutrons, you don't need to choose them. It's supposed to be the help of your calculator to get them, to work around them. And the last one is also the conversion of units. 1 yard is equal to how many meters? You should be able to know this. And how 1 meter is going to how many yards? Your calculator is there to just help you. So this is the overview of the table of content. In our next video, we are just digging deeper, starting from chapter 1, breaking it down. There's a lot that we are going to see from the book, and the book is very power-packed. So we're going to do a lot. So I'll put you here, and in our next video, we are going to dig deeper, breaking everything down. If you don't have a copy of the book, try to get a copy by calling. We have phone numbers. You can call 0249-484219 to grab your copy. We'll have a copy in Bekwai Senior High Schools, sending copies to Kumasi, and TMRs. We're getting copies to Takrade, copies in Accra, Abri, Eastern region, getting copies to Volta regions. We just want to help the students to solve that problem because we don't want that one to persist.